welcome to Pikes Peak in mid-Wales for the first round of the 2012 Britpart MSA British Cross Country Championship. With a significant entry and very changeable weather conditions forecast, the 6.5 mile course through the Myherin Forest promised a very taxing weekend for all the competitors. Everyone woke up on Saturday morning to a complete blizzard with driving snow, turning the Welsh mountain tops into a complete whiteout. Fortunately, by the time scrutineering was complete, most of the snow had cleared, leaving only low cloud and a waterlogged course to deal with. First on the line, last year's champion Ian Rochelle in the Millington Phoenix. However, it was quickly apparent that all was not well. He finished the first run only 2 seconds behind Richard Kershaw. He pressed on but was always playing catch-up. Rochelle's hope for a victory rather diminished when his car suffered mechanical problems on the final run of the day. With temperatures just above freezing and snow in the air, it was Richard Kershaw who took the lead after the opening run in his Milner R5. He continued to be consistently faster than everyone else, gradually extending his lead over second place Rochelle.
How are things out there?
All right, it's an enjoyable course. They've just taken a rough section out that Freelands are struggling with, but yeah, we're having a good weekend. Cars holding together and yeah, it's all going well.
Martin Cox had to switch to his old Tornado Evo 1 car as his ex-championship winning GSR 206 was not ready for this event. He still managed to put in some very respectable times and finished the day well inside the top 10.
My new car went in for winter rebuild, still not ready, so the old trundle buggy's got to come out.
Well, so she's doing pretty well though.
She's doing well, and we know that it'll finish. So we're just going for consistency, reliability, just keep knocking the runs in. We're going to get some points.
Ryan Cook continued his excellent 2011 form in his CRC Off-Road Motorsport Land Rover Defender. Ryan has been competing in this car for many years, and while others have moved on to more modern space frame derived vehicles, Ryan has continued to develop the traditional Land Rover Defender. This continuous development has meant that the Land Rover is still as competitive as ever.
How are you finding it?
It's been really good. I love this place. A little bit dubious about it being fast for the first event, but it's been really good. The car's behaved itself. I've had a few issues with, same with everybody else, with grip. We've actually changed the tyres and it's actually just eating tyres. So we've changed the tyres and been good. Good few days racing. It's been hard work getting here. We've had a lot of work to do, but it's been, touch wood, worthwhile. So hopefully we get to the finish.
Greg Morris and Emma Garrett were out in the distinctive XOX Bowler Wildcat. Greg's been a long-time supporter of the British Cross Country Championship. As well as competing in the event, he also provides all the hospitality requirements. A welcome oasis at all times, but especially when the conditions are bad. Despite some gremlins on the technical side, Greg made good progress throughout the weekend, ending up second in class and in 9th position overall.
There's some really tricky bits out there. There's some really fast, plus some really tricky off-road sections.
There's a bit of everything actually. Some really flat-out, fast, flowing corners and straights, and then all of a sudden you dive into a mud run, and you're bouncing around proper off-road stuff. And then there's some really steep climbs on some really slippery stone. So it's a bit of everything for everyone. Yeah.
So you think the car's going to hold out all day?
I hope so. These Wildcats are pretty robust, so you can throw plenty of stuff at them, and they're pretty good. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, we'll catch up a bit later on. Good luck.
Great, thank you.
Paul Myers, who owns Britpart, the main sponsor of the British Cross Country Championship, was having a mixed day. The first 3 runs were relatively straightforward, setting some quite respectable times. Unfortunately, on run 4, partial transmission failure left him struggling with 2-wheel drive only, and he lost a significant amount of time.
Alright, Paul, obviously you've got some issues. What's happened?
We've snapped a half shaft on the last lap, so down to rear-wheel drive. Bit like a Mark II Escort.
Fair enough. So you'll have it fixed for the next run, will you?
Sorry?
You'll have it fixed for the next run?
Yep. Should be about half an hour to get it back together, hopefully.
Alright, well, good luck. We'll catch up with you later.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Dean Sutcliffe very nearly didn't make it to this event. His crew truck had a clutch failure on the way, meaning that he had to be recovered back to base in Norfolk. He made a steady start, his bowler making light work of the very technical parts of this off-road course. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be his weekend, and as he explains, an early retirement was just around the corner.
So Dean, I can see your cars on the back of the trailer. We saw you having some fun out there yesterday.
Oh yeah, but well tail happy. Proper driving out there today and yesterday. Good course, plenty of power down. It's had, like I said, the car's been rebuilt for the season. We've had a new transfer box, new gearbox. We've got a problem with the transfer box, and we've lost drive. We're not too sure what the problem is at this moment in time, but we just don't want to risk it and totally shatter the drive. Like I say, it's Pete Roberts. He's done an extreme good job, and we've been working with him this year. Done a bit of work with Milner as well, with the suspension, etc., gassing shocks and revalving, etc. They've done us an extremely good turn, but it's been a really good course, to be fair. It's been fast and flowing. Over in the rough stuff, it's a proper driving course. It's deep mud, everything you could ever wish for.
Justin Birchall opened his account in determined style, always very spectacular to watch, pushing his Peugeot 206 right to the limits. For the first few runs, always within striking distance of Richard Kershaw and Ian Rochelle, and was a good few seconds quicker than Ryan Cook in the Land Rover Defender. But a recurring problem with the drive shaft on run 3 lost him lots of time, but he was still able to hang on to third place at the end of day 1.
Oh, Justin, you've been running pretty well, but your car's not working at the moment. Tell us what's wrong.
It keeps plunging the drive shaft. Just finding out really, I'm going to have to put a droop strap on. The trailing arm's dropping out, which is overextending the drive shaft, and then it's just smashing the bearings on the way back in. Thank you, Martin. So we're just going to put that droop strap on, and hopefully we won't do it again.
Yeah, it is pretty tough out there, so you're hoping to get out for a few more runs?
Yeah, it should be done by the time I get back down to the truck now, and hopefully I'll get finished off. Picked up a couple of spare drive shafts off Myherin and Carl Duffield to help me out, so that's great.
Okay. Well, as you can see, the snow's falling down, which will make it pretty interesting for the remainder of the day. Good luck, we'll catch you later.
Great, thank you.
Also charging hard was Steve Smith in the Cosworth-powered Focus. Steve was battling hard with Ryan Cook as they were both circulating within just a few seconds of each other. Competitive stuff. As the competition progressed, however, the Cosworth engine started to consume an alarming amount of oil. Steve didn't appear to slow down much though.
Right, Steve, we've seen a lot of damages to several vehicles here. There's some work going on with yours. Anything wrong?
Engine blown. So now we're just trying to find out, it's burning a lot of oil. I think the engine's gone, but we're just trying to get to the end of the meeting now. So we've got, I reckon, 2 more laps to do, and that'll do us. Might have to take a maximum on the last one, but.
Adam Bridgman and Barry Marshall running in the trophy class. Their day started relatively sedately, posting the slowest time in class for the first run, but they were quickly into their stride and improved significantly on runs 2 and 3. They would end the first day holding second place in class, having improved their run times by nearly 2 minutes. Nick Lyons and Keith Tween started well in the Freelander Challenge, posting the fastest time in class for the first run. Unfortunately, it wasn't to last, and they ended up taking a stage maximum on run 2, seriously denting their hopes of a class victory on the weekend. Run 3 saw them back up to speed. However, an overheating engine on run 4 would seriously dent their chance of a class victory this time out.
Nick. Well, you're running in the Freelander Challenge.
Yeah.
It's a pretty difficult circuit out there. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's been very challenging. There's some nice, lovely gravel sections, really nice, and some damn nasty mud ones. We're having particular trouble with the shale hill. We just don't seem to be getting up. There's a few people having trouble, but we're hoping with this time around we might be okay.
You've got a ground clearance, as somebody meant other vehicles, and not a diff lock. It must be pretty difficult.
That's right. The ground clearance isn't so bad. It's the diff lock that is giving us trouble. We don't have it, so it's you have to drive a bit differently and maybe hit it a bit faster.
Just power. If in doubt, power. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But no, had a good day.
Yeah, just some problems going on under the bonnet there. Do you want to divulge?
Yeah, we had some trouble on the shale section, and then we couldn't get up it, so we had to come back along the gravel. And just as we were reaching the crest, the top corner, we were driving into steam, our own steam. So we've had cooling issues, but hopefully we've got them sorted as well. We can't really seem to find what the problem has been.
Yeah. So potentially it could be a head gasket. Does that mean you'll be out for the rest of the day?
No, we'll run it.
Right, well,
seriously, we've got water in the back. We'll run it. Yeah, take it easy.
I admire that. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here's Keith Wilde and Sally Seen up against Ben Gott for top honours in the clubman class. Unfortunately for them, Ben usually competes in the main championship, so he was in a much faster machine. That didn't stop Keith pressing on, improving his first lap time by over a minute as the first day of competition progressed. The pair would finish the first day comfortably holding second place in class. So after day one, it looks like this. The championship class led by Richard Kershaw from Ian Rochelle, Justin Birchall third, then Ryan Cook, Steve Smith and Martin Cox in sixth. The trophy class led by Alan Thomas from Adam Bridgman. The Freelanders, Alistair Myers leading that with Nick Lyons in second position. And in the clubman class, Ben Gott leading from second place, Keith Wilde. All to play for as we head to day two of the opening round of the Britpart MSA British Cross Country Championship.
Welcome to another episode of Racing No Filter. Joining me in sunny California, Bill Wood, and down in sunny Florida, Peter King.
We're going to take a look at some of the products HPD has created for the 2012 Honda Civic, and specifically we're going to show you how to install an adjustable sway bar.
Until then, folks out there, you take care.
Welcome back to the second day of competition in the Britpart MSA British Cross Country Championship. Although the course was still very muddy and waterlogged in places, the weather generally was much improved on day two, and everyone looked forward to an exciting day's competition. Ben Gott is not able to compete in all the rounds this year, so we found him entered as a one-off in the Clubman's Championship. Not unsurprisingly, he came first in this class with a significant margin, a 17-minute lead over second place Keith Wilde and Sally Seen. Ben has been entertaining us in this buggy for many years now with his all-out win it or bin it driving style. Had Ben been racing in the main championship, interesting to note that he was sufficiently fast to have taken fourth position overall. On to the Freelander Challenge, and victory this weekend for Alistair and Martin Myers in the number 107 car. Parts of the course this weekend had proved to be particularly taxing for the Freelanders. However, after a small change on the second day, all the competitors in the Freelander class were able to post some very respectable stage times. The Freelander Challenge has seen some steady growth over recent times and now forms a significant part of the Britpart MSA British Cross Country Championship. The trophy class was dominated all weekend by Alan Thomas and Barry Marshall. Alan was fast and consistent all weekend, completing each run within a few seconds of his previous times, and even though he had a little bit of drama on the last day, he was still able to take victory with a 12-minute lead over second place in class, which went to Adam Bridgman and Matthew Morgan. Justin Birchall finished the competition in 6th place overall. Despite pushing really hard and posting some very respectable times, he was never quite able to get on the pace of the front runners. The next round of the championship has been moved from Nestcliff to Sennybridge in South Wales, and that's going to suit Justin's driving style. Plenty of fast Cat 1 sections, so barring any mishaps, he should be looking for a much better result. 5th place overall was Martin Cox in his old Tornado Evo 1. Martin was supposed to be out in his new GSR Peugeot 206, but he was unable to complete the preparation of the new car prior to round 1. Despite having to go back to his old vehicle, he was still putting in some great performances. The bulletproof reliability of the Tornado bringing him to the finish line despite some very tough conditions. Fourth place overall, Steve Smith and John Griffiths in the Cosworth-powered Ford Focus. It was very clear from the outset that something wasn't quite right with the Focus, as it was followed round by a cloud of blue smoke. However, despite having to refill the engine with oil on every run, Steve wasn't gentle with the engine at all, still pushing as hard as he could. The other competitors expected the car to retire at any moment, but to everyone's surprise, he managed to clinch 4th place and was less than 30 seconds behind the 3rd place man, Ryan Cook. In 3rd place was the ubiquitous Land Rover of Ryan and Chris Cook. The familiar light blue Defender taking the mixture of fast Cat 1 and very wet, muddy technical sections totally in its stride. The new gearbox appeared to be working well as Ryan fought through the day to stay ahead of Justin Birchall and Steve Smith. Ryan was quite surprised to finish on the podium, as he hadn't realised that Justin had lost significant time on run 9.
Right, Ryan, last time we spoke you were running in 4th. At the end of the day, it's 3rd for you.
Yeah, I don't quite know how we did it. I'm gathering it was a bye, if you like, because I think Justin may have had a problem. I don't know, but either way, I'm happy with the result and I'm happy with the way the car and the team have performed this weekend. So it's been a blinding weekend, really fast and really enjoyable.
Any changes to the car, or are we just going to leave it as it is?
We'll do some maintenance on the car because it's steering. We need a new steering box because the steering box was starting to jam up. So we'll have a new steering box. It's got to go back to John Eales. You never know, he may tweak it a little bit more, because when we did round 6 at Nestcliff, which I know is Nestcliff A, and we're going to Nestcliff B, it was hellishly quick and we was slightly running out of rev, so we might just perhaps turn the limiter up slightly just to give us a bit extra, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, we look forward to that. Congratulations, and we'll see you next time.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks again, and I'd like to thank all my sponsors. I wouldn't be here without them, and also the officials, because without them we wouldn't have an event in the first place. So thanks to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In 2nd place, last year's champion Ian Rochelle and Chris Hammond. To say that the Millington Phoenix had an eventful weekend would be a massive understatement. All throughout the competition, the car suffered 6 punctures, and Ian ended up driving the last 3 runs with the engine only firing on 3 cylinders. Generally though, Ian was pleased with his final position and hopes to go one better next time out.
Right, Ian, we end the weekend in beautiful sunshine. Smile on your face because you came second. How did it go?
Yeah, we've had every bit of weather that could have been thrown at us. We've had snow, sleet, rain, you name it. It's all happened, and we've ended up in this glorious sunshine. And yeah, we've had a good weekend. Fraught with trouble, but that's racing. We've had 6 punches, and we've done 3 laps on only 3 cylinders. So we've struggled a little bit. Richard Kershaw has been the runaway leader this weekend. I think he'd probably got the legs on us anyway. But yeah, we've had a good time, and we're here again on Sunday, and we've got another result in. So yeah, happy.
Yeah, credit to you and your team with all those problems. Yeah. Any changes for the next round next month?
No, just a few reliability issues with the car and the engine. Just a general service, and hopefully we'll all be at Nestcliff and the sun will be shining again in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next time.
Cheers, thank you.
At the end of the day though, victory for Richard Kershaw and Johnny Kunja in the Milner R5, although things didn't go all Richard's way, as he had a half shaft fail on run 4 in one of the more technical sections of the course. Richard persevered through that, and sheer grunt managed to get them to the service area, where it proved to be a fairly straightforward fix. Despite this drama, Richard was able to finish the day over 6 minutes ahead of Ian Rochelle, who, as we've seen, was having his own problems. So it was the perfect opening for Richard's 2012 campaign to take the championship title back from Ian Rochelle. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a hard-fought championship this year.
Some of that off-road section is pretty hard on the car. I mean, is it holding up well?
Yeah, I mean, we broke a front shaft yesterday. We were lucky to get up the steep hill, and we got out and got back. Lost a few seconds, but everybody's had the problems this weekend. We've just had less than others.
Ben Gott takes the honours in the clubman class from Keith Wilde and Sally Seen. Andrew Chester and Matthew Lister third. In the Freelander Challenge, Alistair and Martin Myers take the honours from Nick Lyons and Keith Tween, with Selwyn Kendrick and James Dewayne in third place. The Britpart Trophy, first Alan Thomas and Barry Marshall, then Adam Bridgman and Matthew Morgan in second place, and the podium completed by Mark Jakes and Simon Last. Overall though, victory to Richard Kershaw, with Ian Rochelle in second place, Ryan Cook third, from Steve Smith, Martin Cox in fifth, and Justin Birchall rounding off the top 6. So with everyone bathed in sunshine now, we say goodbye to Pikes Peak for another year. The next meeting, as mentioned originally at Nestcliff in Shropshire, has now been moved to Sennybridge in South Wales. Join us there for more off-road action from the Britpart MSA British Cross Country Championship.